What's up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? Welcome back to another pickups video. We have 17 games to go over, some Lego sets, and a ton of retro video game magazines. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the least exciting stuff first and then go on to the more exciting stuff. Least exciting would probably have to be the Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter. Now I loved this. This was a really fun build. No regrets from me, but of course this is a gaming channel, not a Lego channel. This is an awesome display piece if you're considering getting one. I highly recommend it, especially now that they're only like $5. Like, it's a very cheap Lego set. And then the only modern game in this whole lineup is the Lunar Remastered Collection on the Nintendo Switch. This is also available on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, but I got the Switch version because I like handhelds. I don't like stationary consoles. I love handhelds. So I got it on that for that reason, so I can play it wherever I might go. And speaking of that, this will probably be our last pickup video as in the Nintendo Switch 2 for a little bit, because this summer I'm going to a couple different countries and all my money is going to be spent going to those countries and exploring them, buying things there. So our pickup videos are going to be a little slow this summer, to say the least. Then the second newest game in this pickups is Drive Girls on the PlayStation Vita. It is sealed, another sealed game. Actually, like half of these are sealed, which was completely by coincidence. I don't buy sealed games like out of way. It's just they're so cheap. It's just like some of these games, it's just like it just makes more sense to get them sealed. Next game on the list on the PSP is Ikitosen Cross Impact. This is a Japan import. I didn't know this game existed until the other day, and then I was like, you know what, that's actually really cool. I want that game, I'm getting it. It's a part of the Senran Kagura series, and I love those games. I actually have pretty much all of them that came out over the last probably 10-15 years. So once I found out this existed, I knew I had to get it. And one thing I didn't know about this when I bought it is this little sticker here. This is actually from a Japanese game store. I believe it's called Hard Off, and it shows, you know, when this was traded in, and it was May 31st, 2024. So I bought it almost a year after it was traded in. So that's pretty cool. There are more PSP games, but I just wanted to go through the import one first because it was easier to grab. But I also got another jam-packed disc on the PlayStation 1. I love these things. They are such a nice, you know, snapshot in time. And this one happened to have a Tony Hawk Pro Skater beta demo build on it. And so much had changed between that demo to the final release. I'm gonna do a video about it at some point, but it was really cool. It was mind-blowing. Yet another sealed PSP game, Breakout High. I know nothing about this game other than that it's very similar to this game I have on the Nintendo DS. That game was called I Heart Geeks, and it's a very similar concept. You're like this nerdy guy and you like get a girlfriend and stuff. It's another like stupid weird game, but it looks like it's a fun stupid weird. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know about this, but I have decided to go for a complete collection of UMD dual packs. So this is Hot Shot Golf Open Tee and Hot Shot Golf Tennis Get a Grip. So I'm very happy to have this. Once again, it was sealed, which was completely not planned. It was $10 sealed, and it was like $10 sealed or like $7, you know, open. We're getting the sealed version. It's unlikely that I'm going to ever open these when I get them sealed, because I just play my PSP games at this point on either the Retroid Pocket 5 or the PSP Go. So there's no real reason for me to open these, but maybe someday I will. And another sealed game, PQ2 Practical Intelligence Question 2 or Content 2. It's another puzzle game. I actually really enjoyed these, and on PSP the puzzle games were just so much different than what we get today, or even on the PlayStation Vita or PlayStation 4. So it's very fun to get these and go back to them. I am always finding out about these games that I never knew existed, and this just happens to be one of them. After I bought these two, it actually kind of frustrated me because I found out they do come in a UMD dual pack, and I could have just got the dual pack version. But we're talking about Siphon Filter, Logan's Shadow, and Killzone Liberation. These two games, I should have looked around more and got that UMD dual pack version, because now I'm about to have 4 copies of these, or 2 copies of this game whenever I get around to buying that. So that sucks, but I'm really glad to have these in the collection. Siphon Filter is kind of one of those games by Ben Studios that's just kind of, it's just perfect. It was one of the like quintessential PlayStation 1 games, and it kind of just got thrown to the wayside. I hope they bring it back one day, but if they don't, that's okay. And then of course Killzone, like you already know, I love Killzone. Just the other week, or actually probably about a month and a half ago at this point, I made a video about how I went back to play through Killzone 1, 2, 3. They aged perfect, like absolutely perfect. And I actually never played Liberation. I always wanted it as a kid, never got around to it, and now here I am, a grown man, and I'm gonna finally play one of my childhood dreams. And now, the most exciting part of this entire pickup video, in my opinion, is this stack of PlayStation 2 games that I got. These are going in no particular order, but I'm trying to do them in what I think is most, or least interesting to talk about, to most interesting to talk about. The first one is Soul Calibur 3. I actually never had this as a kid. I always wanted it. I had it on the demo disc version, and I would play the life out of it, but I never got around to getting it. It is also complete, and it even comes with a little bonus DVD, which a lot of retro fighting games would do that. Like King of Fighters Maximum Impact came with a full bonus DVD that came in a separate case and everything. I've already finished the story of this for all the individual fighters, as well as the dedicated campaign with your created fighter. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. I will probably go back and play it again at some point within the next couple of years, but man, I want to go through and get Soul Calibur 1 and 2 again and just play through those, because this is just, it reignited a love for the series for me. Next up is the Winter 2001 PlayStation Underground Jam Pack disc. Now, why I primarily bought this was because of Jak and Daxter, but I didn't realize that it was just going to be a video and it wasn't going to be the actual demo. So I ended up playing a ton of the Final Fantasy X demo, a little bit of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater stuff, playing those games, seeing what they looked like when they were still being developed versus when they actually finally came out. It's kind of weird because some of these games were just not fun. Like Final Fantasy X's demo on here was not fun. And if that had been the final game, I don't think it would have done so hot. Next up, the Winter 2002 Jam Pack. I got this primarily for Sly Cooper and Ratchet & Clank, so it was really interesting to see what those games were like way back when, before the game even came out. There was also a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, which was also a very interesting experience. For the most part, Ratchet & Clank and Sly Cooper felt one-to-one, like nothing had changed between then and release. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, that was kind of interesting. There's some major changes that I honestly was like, why? But then as I thought about it, I was like, okay, that makes sense actually. Next up, and it's the only sealed game in this entire lot, is the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology. So this comes with several Street Fighters actually. It comes with Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 2 Gold, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and I got it because I was like, I had no idea this existed. And here we are, it's already May of 2025, and we've not got a re-release of Street Fighter 2 yet, so I don't know what's going on, because we get that every year by now. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this one and just pretend, because I never played this version of it. It also comes with Super Gym Fighter Mini Mix. I don't know if the camera's gonna load on it. It's like right there. So I'm looking forward to going through to this when I do. Right now I'm playing through Scarface The World Is Yours, as well as 007 From Russia With Love. So as soon as I finish those, I'm probably, or at least one of them, I'm gonna probably jump in onto this. This is the only bad game of the entire pickup lot, and that is Playboy The Mansion on PlayStation 2. Now, it's kind of what you would expect. It's a sim-style game for the Playboy Mansion, and honestly, I thought it was going to be way more fun. I thought it was going to be a tycoon-type game. No, absolutely one of the worst games I've ever played on the PlayStation 2, and now it's going to be a stain on my collection forever. Another game that I actually already finished, it took me about 2.5 days to finish it, and that is Rumble Roses on the PlayStation 2. Also, completely complete, inside and out. I'm showing you for no specific reason. And it's honestly just, it was a fun game. It was stupid. The story made no sense. It was cringe, but it was the right kind of cringe. It was just really enjoyable. And then the last game on the PlayStation 2 that I got, which a lot of people consider to be one of the worst PlayStation 2 games of all time, but I have personally never played it, so I'm going to be playing it here soon, and that is The Bouncer by Square Enix. Or I guess at that point in time it was called Squaresoft, but you get the point. I don't know much about this game. I just know that it was supposed to be an action movie made as a game, basically, and it's supposed to be really bad, but I like bad and I like jank, so I'm looking forward to it. And now we have a fat stack of retro gaming magazines to go through. Now what's interesting about these is that I didn't actually buy all of them. I bought one of them on eBay, and then I guess the guy was just like, you know what? I don't want these anymore. They're all yours now. So there's a handful, like a pretty fat stack actually. First one, which is the one that I bought, was the PlayStation Magazine PlayStation 3 Top 50 Games. It also features stuff for PlayStation 2 and PSP. The reason I really wanted to get these was because I love just reading through these, the way people thought about games way back when, the old advertisements. It was just something. Oh, here's this. I completely forgot about this game. That game did not do so hot, but I loved it as a kid. I flipped through almost all of these. I haven't read any of them. I flipped through all of them though. Probably gonna read them here at some point. But for once we're done with this video, they are all going right up here because they are taking up way too much space on this bookcase. Next up, January 2004 PlayStation Magazine. It previews the entire year for the PlayStation 4, as well as going through some PSP stuff, which I thought was really interesting. As you can see, like, the PSP wasn't really a thing yet. and PlayStation 3 rumors were just starting to pop up. So there was a lot of stuff in here when I was flipping through that shows like chronicles of history of like what people thought it was going to look like, what people thought it was going to be like, and it's kind of interesting looking back at that now, but it's a cute little fragment of history. This one I'm going to show it to you very, very briefly, but it's the PlayStation 2 magazine, PlayStation Magazine Summer Swimsuit Edition, which was very interesting, very weird to see all these game characters in bathing suits. It was like someone got paid to make that art, and it's just like, how and why, and what is your hard drive history looking like? This one I was actually really excited to see in here. So it's the PlayStation Magazine from February 2004, and it features a whole bunch of Resident Evil stuff in it, which I didn't even know existed. So when I was flipping through this and I saw a lot of that Resident Evil stuff, it's like, my heart, I love it. Same for the next one actually. The Metal Gear Solid 3 Preview Edition for PlayStation Magazine was in here, which I was like, oh my god, that is incredible. And then there's this one, which I thought was kind of weird, another PlayStation Magazine. It had Lord of the Rings on the cover, but on the side, as you can see, Killzone was one of the major focuses of this issue, so it's like, why was Killzone not on the cover? Because like when you think of the PlayStation 2, Killzone's a quintessential game. I can guarantee you've never thought of this game before a day in your life, and if you have, it's been over 20 years since the last time you thought about it. This one I also thought was really cool, another PlayStation Magazine, and it's focused on Manhunt, which is like, what? Because Manhunt, if you know the history of it, it shouldn't exist, and it was very controversial. So going through this, looking at the preview images of it, it was like, they definitely tried to safe for work that as much as they could. Not that they actually care, because they're also out here doing a whole PlayStation Magazine swimsuit edition, but it's a thing that they did. This one I thought was really cool. It's got a whole preview for Sphinx here, and it has it on the back as well going onto it. But more importantly, it's the Gran Turismo 4 PlayStation Magazine version. And I absolutely adore Gran Turismo. I love it. A lot of you guys know this because you watch all my videos. Some of you don't because you don't watch all my videos. But every time I go to Mexico, where my US money is worth so much more than Mexican money, I always rent out and do a track experience. This summer we're going back to Cancun. There is a city about an hour and a half out of Cancun that has a whole F1 setup. And once again, I'm gonna go there, driving experience, play around with that car, have some fun. So seeing Gran Turismo 4 on here just filled my heart with joy. And again, some of you may or may not know this, I don't really talk about it, I only streamed it a couple of times, but I am very big into eSims, and I actually have some of the top times for Gran Turismo within the weekly or monthly events that they do. For example, when the movie came out, I was one of the top 100 scores for the Red Bull track, so it was really cool. Well, moving on, that was it for the PlayStation magazines, and there was a bunch of electronic gaming monthlies on here, which are kind of weird because they're so thick. Like, this is as thick as a freaking Bible. I don't know why this was included with it, but it was RPG Maker 2. And RPG Maker 2, I don't know if it was on the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, or what. I'm pretty sure it was the PlayStation 1 based off the graphics, but it's like, you could not pay me enough money to sit there and make an RPG Maker game, let alone play one on the PlayStation 1. This one I was really excited to have. It is the Electronic Gaming Monthly for The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and it also has some old advertisements for Devil May Cry 2 in it. Wind Waker is one of my favorite all-time Nintendo GameCube games, so it's really cool to have the preview version of that now. Yet another Electronic Gaming Monthly. This one's about Castlevania, and I thought it was really cool because it had an ad for Sonic Adventure DX on the back, and then even throughout this edition it did have several for Sonic Adventure. But this part kind of struck nostalgia, advertising of the little McDonald's toy. And then the last magazine, this was the Nintendo Power. It has, forget his name, that guy on the cover, F-Zero. I never really got too into F-Zero, but I thought it was really cool too because it advertised Teen Titans on the back. And I always wanted to get the Teen Titans game. I actually never did. I'll probably pick it up here soon eventually, at some point. Did you get anything cool in your recent pickups? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die, and I'll see you in the next video.